You don't need to be told that this brand is not presenting itself well. They are they're fronting, as the hip hop thing goes. Can't front, man. You have to be real. You have to be true. If you make a mistake, say I'm sorry, because the brand now is the same age, size, height, and economic class as you, whoever you are. Could be rich, poor, super rich. The brand has to be at your level. Today, the brands can't say, hey, I have $1 billion, so you puny people, peasants, go buy my product, which is what they used to do till 5 years back. Hence, some agencies do it well, but I'm not sure everyone else has changed, which is why, again, we have jobs. And you shouldn't join big network agencies. You should go join little indie fellows like me. Because the rules that were there in the old stuff wouldn't apply. You still get to wear shorts to work, but you also get free beer once a month. And you get to not have to follow the rules because old agencies are based on a structure which says client, client's junior, client servicing person, account planning, and you, and then your intern. And the problem is that today your intern's the boss. That's a problem for the brand, not for you. So that's where the real indie in indie comes through. You get a little bit more entrepreneurship. And if you're not good with that, or some other bank, there's a lot of structures, a lot of places where you'll be a cog in the wheel. And that's not a bad thing. You can run big machines. But if you want to run a little machine all by yourself, run with it. This is the place to be. Across any of these. I would say one of the best examples of that is Kevin, who is hiding behind that camera. He's an army of one on many days. He can do a lot of things all by himself, and he's a digital agency that I would pay cognizance to as my competition. It doesn't matter that you have a room full of people or a building full of people. That one guy can make a difference. Lots to learn from him. Maybe get some internships from him. So yeah, this is what we do. I'm not kidding. This is what you do. You get paid for Snapchatting, Facebook. If you're on Facebook and your boss passes you by, he's not going to say, what are you doing? Get back to work. Or whether you're in Goa or Jabalpur or whatever, you can work from anywhere pretty much all the time because you're connected all the time. That's the bad side. If you have a phone, you're on the job. If you have a 3G connection, you're on the job. You can't ever say, hey, I can't really do this now. I'm a little caught up with these personal things. Too bad. Someone died. Just update the Facebook and then you can go back to the funeral. We've never done that, but I'm sure it's going to happen. And yes, now Snapchatting and WhatsApping, you won't be safe from brands. Brands will be coming in there. Better watch out. It's much more difficult, which is why it's taking time, but you wait for us. We agencies will figure out some way to make your life shit. Really, all the stuff that I said to you, this is what it really comes down to. So the interesting thing is, like I said, you can be a production house, a movie studio, a creative agency, a writer, all of this, all in one shot. And then also brand management, client management, thinking. That's just one part of the team. Because the other parts are just as interesting. This is the part that I take care of, which is pitching, where I go to a client, hear his problems, look very sympathetic, and come back with a 70-slide deck that's basically saying, Facebook karte hain. And he says, that's a great idea. Here's a check. No, they never do that. So selling, as Omkar again put it, selling digital right now is still like a tiny, minuscule thing. You have to always come back with innovations. Aap viral jayenge, sir. Sir, main bol raha hu na, sir. I will make you star. But the problem and the reality is that you have to be everyday creative. You have to feed the monster every day. So some of the best ideas you have never seen on digital are because they're passing away every day for you. We don't enter awards because we think it's meaningless. If I have one great campaign in the year that lasted one day from this last week from really big brand pages. So you'll know the problem with that is because you will not go press like on it. The brand manager doesn't know that. And that's why you have media, because then he says, I have not got likes on that post. And then you go to the boost post page and then you say, I'll boost this post and I'll spend 500 rupees and now you have 5,000 likes on it. And he goes, thanks for doing a great job. And we say, yeah, that was my credit card. That wasn't me. But where media really does a great job is where you creatively can find the right person. When I had the chance once to work on NH7 Weekender way back when it was a kid. And there was still work for us to do. Now they are masters at everything. We actually improved our spends on media instead of just targeting everyone, which should be cheapest. I go on the biggest channel, everyone's there, they press like, it's all good. We actually got to sell better when we started focusing on not just that they like the band Spud in the Box, they like Pentagram or whatever, which is the obvious targeting that you do, but that they like other things. They like Banksy. and they like indie art. And what are the other things that they like? They like to eat sushi. And if they press like on that on Facebook, there's a good chance they want to buy an NH7 weekender ticket. Doesn't look like science or math or any kind of logic, but that's how we know human beings. It's a lot of psychology there. And that psychology actually helps clients get a better ROI because they're writing big checks in media. And that goes across. Now, today, the number of ways you can target people on mobile, on apps, on everything is immense. This is so if you see, this is right brain entirely, mix of right brain and left brain, if that's what you like. It's logic and creativity. And from here on, it starts becoming highly analytical, highly left brain, if you like. Excel sheets. This is Microsoft Word and Photoshop and After Effects. This is PowerPoint completely, mostly. This is a little bit of Excel and a lot of other software. That is all Excel. So if you like that kind of thing, this stuff is right now on steroids. Not enough people doing good stuff there. Not enough people who don't have a fear of math, who can tell us good things about our content or bad things. And really, this will explode in the next 3 to 4 years. Because that's also the place where we beat mass media. And finally, the most obvious one, this nobody really knows whether it's a science or an art or a craft. It's just arcane magic. When an app looks good, you don't know why. When you like a game, like, what is that one? Quiz Crack? Is that the one? No, Trivia Crack. You don't know why. When you're playing Candy Crush for the 80th time today and sending out that tired request to your friends for a life, you don't know why. Some magician sat there and figured it out. That to me is the holy grail because that is also content, but it's most magical. There's a whole lot of other stuff there, all this augmented reality and 3D projections, all this stuff that come in your mailbox as viral or on your timeline that you like to see those videos of. Some tech genius sat and figured that out. We have this, I just bought this thing on Amazon for $2,000. It's called Makey Makey. We can plug it into a human being or a plant or a piece of dough or a bucket of water and make it a keyboard. So you can play music on it, play games with it. It's really bizarre looking, but the creativity of that just boggles the mind. It's a single chip that some genius tech guy programmed. And there's a TED talk on it that you should go see. But it's $2,000 to give you unlimited creativity. I can't imagine what I can do that for the next client with that. It's here. It'll excite everyone. It'll look great visually. It'll give great ideas to all the writers in the world. Everybody will be thinking hard about it. It's a piece of tech. So to me, that's the real magic. We may not be, but I just think that you're surrounded by a lot of tech. You're very lucky. I got cheated in my so-called education because I didn't have this college, this infrastructure, these clean loos. You guys are really, really blessed. If you're not using this well enough, shame on you. That's the field of digital in a really, really tight nutshell for you. Long story short, you are going to be starting at intern level. Long story short, you're going to be doing a lot of live stuff. If you can so much as walk in a puddle of water, we will throw you into the deep end and say, go swim. Because that's how much we need humans today to run stuff. It's a growing industry. It's exploding. There are not enough good people there with an entrepreneurial spirit who can manage good digital. And they're surely not 40 years old or 30 years old. They're all in the ages of 18 to 24. An equity research firm that only talks to billionaires. And this on my PC was inside the box. I know we think out of the box, but this is too much. However, and this is what digital companies will start to do, is do interesting work for themselves because they can. I don't have to have a TV channel to do cool work. So we have two independent communities. One of them is on indie art. Art meaning the guys who make cool stuff. They could be photographers, graffiti artists, graphic novelists. What NH7 did for the indie musician, we are hoping one day, in a very what would Jesus do kind of way, they did it right for the indie musician. We're trying to do that same thing for indie art. And we have had some initial successes. We've done cool work with the cops and they're saying, here, take 20 more police stations and do our social media because we had the right message, which is transparency for them. We got to work on stuff for her. And we also do these events called arty parties, which are basically like pub events where it's a flea market to buy a really cool artist's art who you've never heard of, never seen, look great on your wall. And it's like a talking point saying, hey, where did you get that? It's an artist called Ranjit Daya. You don't know him. I know him. Cost $500, $800, almost an impulse buy. But there's also a pub quiz there and there'll be a musician there. So it's all fun. It's not wine and cheese. And that's where we think art will head. That's our claim. We also made this really cool mural at MIG Club when the day Sachin retired. This was supposed to be for a client. He refused to pay for it eventually. And you know who had the last laugh, right? Because this is now, I stand there sometimes just to see how people passing by take pictures of it. It hit the New York Times and the Guardian. The total investment in this was less than the investment in the tea or coffee that the client had made for that month. They should have paid for it. And finally, we also stand alongside the world that NH7 created in indie music and the whole lifestyle thing, where we think there's a lot to do now because they've opened up the world. So we have a show on VH1 called Music Diaries, which is our show. We do the content. What we did for our 5,000 subscribers on YouTube, VH1 said, hey, that's good enough to go on TV, and suddenly 40 million people are watching the same thing. No pressure, man. But it's a low budget show that they like because it's low budget and it's really good. We also do parody. We also do, there's things around hip hop, metal, all of the things that nobody's really got time for now because things are moving so fast. There's only like 50 people doing good hip hop and rap in this country and about 200 really bad ones. We are helping sift that crowd out. Lots of work in metal. And a property called No Cover Charge, which you should go check out, which is really simple. It's a indie band covering the work of another indie band. So that's Lightyears Explode, who covered a Pentagram song in their own way. And suddenly everyone thought, hey, that's a cool idea. It was a simple enough thing. One kid thought of it sitting in the corner. Why don't we cover other bands? And everyone goes, that's a great idea. Why has no one done that? And we just made it. By the next day, we had a video. The third day, we presented to a client saying, this is a great idea and I have a complete show for you. The fourth day, he said, okay, I like it. I'll take it. That's how fast things can move in digital. And which is why I might have time for...
No.
I thought I'd do this. But anyway, I'm available on digital all the time. I don't have a choice, so you can ping me whenever you want.